Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have the last video of 2020. This year has been crazy. Crazy, that's all I'm going to say. It was something that I will definitely not forget. But coming to one of the positive parts of 2020, I finished my first proper sketchbook ever. And I'm really excited to share with you guys today with my first ever sketchbook tour, something that I've been wanting to do even before I started my YouTube channel. And I find them really inspirational and they give me so many ideas that I needed to just do one for myself. So this sketchbook is from August 2020 till December 2020. It took me 5 months to finish it. I'm surprised I didn't finish it sooner with the amount I've been painting, but I guess, well, yeah. I started this on the 17th of August. I don't know if you can see that. The 17th of August and finished it on the 23rd of December. This is my first piece. I was doing this at 11 p.m. in the night. People on Instagram asked me why I was doing it up so late. I get ideas at odd times. I can't explain why. This one, I was struggling to make water at the time. I wanted to practice it a bit. I can still definitely practice it way more, but I could see improvement in myself, I guess. This one was inspired by this artist I saw on Instagram. She was doing this really pretty 100-day flower challenge or something, and I just had to try it out for myself. I'm not sure which flowers these are, but I'm quite happy with this one. Yeah, again, struggling with water. I tried to do the light reflecting on the ocean. That didn't work. Moving on. Here we were starting a monochrome thingy in school, monochrome topic. So just to practice that, these trees, I really like this perspective. I've never tried this before. I'm probably going to do it again. Possibly more detailed and not with watercolors. In this entire sketchbook, I jumped around with watercolors and acrylics, and I think, yeah, watercolors and acrylics like a lot. I couldn't decide which one was better, so. And also, if any of these have tutorials on my channel, I'm linking it right up here in the card and in the description down below. So if you want to make any of these and you think, just check out, there might be a tutorial for these. Also, my most commonly used supplies and everything is down in the description if you want to check that out. And some of these I've even posted on Instagram, so you can check those out too. Okay, yeah, moving on. This one, ponds, flowers, a pond. This is something I didn't make with a reference picture after a very long time. I generally use reference pictures. This was one of my first, definitely the first in this sketchbook without one. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because I usually feel I'm quite dependent on reference pictures, and sometimes it's fun to not be. This one happened. Moving on. At this point I was trying to just fill a page of my sketchbook a day, and at this point I was just done, totally tired of that. So I just threw on something, and I do not like how this turned out. It's super messy. I don't know if you can tell. It's like really messy. Like, ugh. I think I need to practice Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights way more, because I did it further on as well and made a mess there too. Here I was practicing clouds, another one of my weaknesses. I think I've improved to a certain extent that I need to keep practicing for sure. This one is one of my favorite pieces in this sketchbook. It's like a magical kind of fairy-ish forest, like mysterious but magical at the same time. I love the effects the fireflies give, and it's an interesting piece. Here's one of my first proper ones with watercolor in this thing. I'd made a picture like this before, but that was like towards the beginning of 2020, and I wanted to improve that because that one, after looking at it after like some time, this one had to be made to fix the old one that I made. A lot of these things, now that I see them, I'm not 100% happy with them as I was when I actually made them, which shows that I have made improvement in my work, which I'm happy to say. Here in school we were still doing the monochrome thingy, so I had to practice the sky I was going to do there, and then I added the foreground. It's something. I like the color. I don't use the color brown for whole scenery, so this was fun. This one, I don't know, there's something behind this thing. For some reason, this post got like 83 likes on Instagram. I have no idea why. I was just going with the monochrome idea, and for some reason it just really worked. Please tell me why. I don't know. Explain to me why this is so cool. I've had fun making it. Not that that's not a thing, but I don't know. This page, I kind of messed it up, so then I just put some newspaper on it because I wanted to cover it up really badly. Whatever it was, I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was probably really bad for me to do this. I'm happy with how these turned out though. Same going with that flower theme that we were kind of going for. Wait a second. Ooh, here. Just continue with the flowers. Because I think the person on Instagram was still doing that 100-day flower thing. Yeah. Then here, this one actually kind of does have a story behind it. The particular day that I drew this, our school had piled us up with a lot of work. School, I think, was reopening, and then we had so much to do and like so much piled up work, and we were having a test week, and I don't even remember what. But I think that was just how I was feeling that day. Like, what? I guess. I think that was that day. Then here again, I was practicing the clouds and the color gradient because at some point I don't even know how, but I've forgotten how to make an acrylic gradient. Scary, but I did. I struggled with this, but I think I managed it. I don't know. Here's my love for like desserts and freak shakes started because I found a couple of pictures of freak shakes. I always knew they were there, but I never really bothered with them. Now I realize that it's so much fun to make these. Like, I love the shading I did on this chocolate sauce. Can't see it, can you? It's like, I enjoyed it. It's such an imaginative dessert. You can just add anything on it. I made a second one of these in pink. This one I didn't have any reference picture for, so there's kind of like a few clear issues. But I think it's a really interesting dessert to keep trying and making. I tried to make marshmallows. They turn out like paint cans. Anyway, moving on. Here I got a new watercolor brush. It was like a size -1, something. I was so excited to try it. This picture is quite small compared to other stuff I make, so I'm happy with how this went. Oh yeah, this one I was working. This is like a reverse charcoal technique. It was super messy. Still is messy. It's charcoal. But when I was working on this before one of my school lessons. I went to that Zoom meeting and I had black streaks on my face, making me look like a warrior because I had been using charcoal. The teacher was really confused. So was I, but it just charcoal gets everything so messy, but it looks really cool as well. This is the sunflowers. I don't know if you can tell or not. This is not the right paper to do it on either. It kind of started really getting thinned out. Reverse charcoal is something I'm going to be doing more, but not in the sketchbook. This is my first tutorial that I did on YouTube. I'm really proud of this one, not just because of how it looks, but because of like the number of memories and stories and the amount of preparation I put into this one picture. Here I think Inktober had started. This was around Inktober. I think this was the prompt for Wisp. It's like the second or third day. If any of you follow the Inktober thingy, you'll know. Then here, this is probably my least favorite piece in the sketchbook. I had left watercolors alone for quite a while, and I came back to them. I didn't like how this looked, then I tried using color pencil to fix it, and I just completely ruined it, so I'm not very happy with this one. Here was my first attempt at gouache. The gouache I had was kind of weird, so it didn't turn out the way I expected it to, but I mean, it's going to take me some time to practice and learn. This is also gouache. I ended up using markers to fix it because that quality of paint was kind of bleh. Another third attempt at gouache, moving on. This is another tutorial. I feel like I should have maybe added like a boat among the waves or something. I might do that in another picture, and I can definitely improve the ocean as well. This was like a beginner level painting on my channel. I'm not sure what this is. It's a cherry blossom, but I'm not sure why or what inspired me to make this. This is a really fun piece. I know it doesn't make any sense. Flowers and moons or planets raining down on penguins standing on grass. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I made this one less for making it look good and more for just enjoyment. That's what I feel art should be. It should be enjoyment, not forcing yourself to make something amazing. You cannot always make amazing stuff. It should be for fun. And I really like the color gradient idea, that there's a particular color, so I went with that. This one was my first attempt at watercolor flowers. I did do a tutorial on this eventually, but I had to practice a bit first myself. I really don't like how some of it turned out. This was my second attempt, definitely better than the first. This was my third and final attempt, and I really am happy with how this turned out. I've done a lot more watercolor flowers since then. This one I was just practicing once before filming the video that I did on these. That's just a flower. Here's another tutorial. They're all linked in the description or up here in the cards. Just check it out there if you want to. This one, again, as I said, the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, they didn't go so well for me. I tried this one with watercolors and clearly something happened. Moving on. Here, I hadn't used acrylics for a while. Like, I had just left them alone, and I'd forgotten how to make like the proper light of the moon, so it looks like really concentrated here, like it shouldn't be. And here it kind of got messy too. So this was kind of like just getting to know my acrylics again. Here, I'm really happy with this piece. It's another imaginative piece, and I seem to really enjoy those. They might not look as nice as like proper pieces, but they're so much fun to make. And you just don't need, it's mindless. You can just make it anything and be like, it's an imaginative piece, it's come out of my head, you can't say anything about it. End of story. Random doodling. This is the reverse watercolor technique. I'll probably teach you guys this eventually. It's a technique that really helps make watercolor paintings look better. I need more practice at this, which is why I haven't taught you yet, but I will soon. This one is the watercolor and ink technique. I posted this on Instagram, and I really am happy with how this turned out. I love the idea of this technique, so I think I did it a bit more in other places, and it was so much fun to do. This one, the watercolor door thing that I made was based off this one, which I based off another one that I made that I saw from Instagram. So the final one that I did was a copy of a copy of a copy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Like, I made the same picture 3 times over. This was just like a thumbnail sketch, basically. This one I did in my last video with my sister, the Rapunzel thing. This I did with my brother in the last video. This is Moana, if you didn't guess. Standing at the wave. I'm really happy with how I did the shading right here, because I didn't really look at the reference picture. I just saw it while I was sketching it out, and then I didn't look at the reference picture at all, which I'm really happy about, because as I said before, I rely on reference pictures really heavily, so when I don't use them, I'm quite proud of myself. Here is the earth. There's a funny story behind this. My brother, I asked him what I should paint because I had no idea what I should do. He said paint the world, so that's what I did. He absolutely did not expect me to do that, but I did. It was fun. And then I continued with the space theme, made planets hang from a dream catcher. I'm not sure why, but it looks nice, so I guess that's the point. Then here, continuing with that space theme as well, I'm a Harry Potter fan. Harry Potter fans will get this one. Then here onwards, I was just trying to finish my sketchbook to get it ready for this video. I asked you guys on Instagram for prompts. One of the first ones I got was sunflowers by my friend who is absolutely obsessed with them. I wanted to do sunflowers as well because they are pretty, but I decided to do them slightly differently. This is finger painting. I made a mess of my fingers and just painted this whole thing because it was not something I do. I'm not sure if these are the type of sunflowers my friend wanted, but they are sunflowers. Deal with it. Friend, you know who you are. Then I also got the prompt bonfire, which I thought was really cool. I've never really done fire. And the idea, I saw a similar thing, not similar like this, but I saw the idea of orange and blue kind of clashing. And I love that a lot, like a lot, because orange is one of my favorite colors. So creating this contrast was a lot of fun, and plus I kind of think that I learned a bit more about my acrylics and like how you can layer them here a bit. I got the prompt dessert, so I first tried doing realism. That definitely didn't work. Then I made macaroons. This was supposed to be straight, but I think they got a bit tilted, So now it's like, you should need to look at it like this for it to be straight. These colors are an interesting bunch. I don't use these colors together very often, but they just happened. This one is not something I do often at all, and it's really kind of you can tell that I didn't measure out the angles of the cottage too well, because I can see like a dent in the roof when I look at it on camera, and it looks kind of odd. Not something I would do, not something I have done before, and it was definitely a new technique for me. I got the prompt flowers, so yeah. Here I was trying out the new gouache that I got to actually try and use gouache like a bit better. The first ones that I got were weird. This I fixed and basically swatching. I love pages like this in sketchbooks, even though they don't make any sense, but they're fun to look at. I got the prompt like my friend sent me these things on one line watercolor pen thingy. I tried that, it didn't work, so I just went with normal ink and watercolor, the technique that I've learned, and I think I'm happy with how those turned out, better than the one line thingy. I probably have to practice that more. Originally this prompt that I was given was draw a hybrid of your favorite and least favorite animal, but I didn't have the heart to ruin a panda, and I don't draw animals very often, so I just took the nice part of that prompt and drew panda bears. They're so cute. It's like, that's lazy panda, happy panda, I'm not sure what that panda is doing, thinking panda, peeking out from behind a bamboo panda. They're all cute. Then here I also got this thing sent to me called highlighter art, which I found really interesting and fun, since I kind of unknowingly do this in my textbooks anyway, so it was kind of interesting to actually think about it and do it in a picture. I don't draw human figures very often. I'm not very comfortable drawing them. This was like a cartoon that I was given the prompt person or people or portrait a couple of times, so I just went with a cartoony version because I can't do realistic. Then we're coming close to the end, last 2 pages or 1 page left. This was another attempt at gouache, just practicing swatching and stuff. And then here we have the final picture of the sketchbook. Ignore that, that's just randomness. It's like a simple gouache gradient. Gradients are something I find really easy to do, so I thought I may as well just practice that. I think we ended the sketchbook on a kind of cliffhanger, like with the gouache, and my next sketchbook will definitely have way more gouache in it. I'm really proud of this sketchbook, and this is one of my achievements of 2020. This year has just been oof. And I'm thinking that we really need to look at the positives of this year and whatever we can find, and this is definitely one of those. Now let's look to 2021 with new hopes. I mean, it can't get much worse than 2020, so just happy new year. Enjoy this new year with nothing more to lose with this new year. Bye.
Like, share, and subscribe. Happy New Year!